Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Kid, and today we're going to be talking about the Dan Schneider allegations, because it is pretty wild, in my opinion. Now, in case you're oblivious and you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Dan Schneider was a famous producer in Nickelodeon, and he produced like lots of shows like iCarly, Victorious, and Drake and Josh. And recently, a document has been released called Quiet on Set, where it talks about like the dark side of like Hollywood and like how child actors have gotten like abused. And it mentioned like some producers, like Dan Schneider in particular, with him like being really weird and inappropriate to like the actresses and like touching them and inappropriate ways and like just doing weird things to them overall. And it just makes him come off as like a pretty weird, not even a weird guy, just a down bad creep, honestly. And today we're gonna be looking at an interview from Boogie, and I watched this interview, and it does not make Dan Schneider look good in the way um, it's meant to. Like this interview is just biased and just makes it look like that Dan's innocent, but it just doesn't help at all. But yeah, we're gonna be looking at the video interview, so let's get to it. All right, so something funny I noticed is if you scroll down here, apparently the dislikes have been disabled and the comments have been turned off, which I find very interesting given the video. But yeah, let's get to it, I guess. Oh, it's not clicking.
I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
I'm really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
For sure.
We've got a lot of things to unpack. But before I dive into my list of topics that I'd like to discuss, is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No.
Alright, I just want to say something real quick. Saying that you owe someone an apology is not an apology. Let's just keep that in mind. Like, okay, you owe someone an apology. Who? Like there's like a bunch of people specifically that you have to like apologize to. Like, who do you have to apologize to? Like, not like saying that I owe someone an apology because I did this to him is not an apology. Like, if you're gonna apologize, apologize. Don't just like beat around the bush.
No. There's no doubt that sometimes those jokes went beyond the pale and I said things that went too far or made practical jokes that went too far. And that was wrong. And that was because, I was an inexperienced producer. I was immature. Wouldn't happen today. But I'm just really sorry it happened.
Yeah. Now we know you've had a lot of success.
Yeah, I don't know if immaturity is a really good excuse for like Ariana Grande like making a wild joke relating to like someone's crotch that's portrayed to kids. Like, I mean, okay, look, I get it, right? People can be stupid. They do a bunch of dumb stuff, when they're like immature and they're young, but like come on. At the same time, like we gotta like look at the bigger picture here. Like Dan was still a grown man at the time, bro. Like even if he was so and so immature, like come on, bro. He was an adult. Like he knew better than most um, kids. Like he knew better.
Over 2 decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you.
Okay.
Let's speak directly to the people who did not have a good experience with you.
Okay, I would like to speak.
Specific things that you were doing?
Sure, I would snap at people sometimes. I would be snarky when I could have given them a nicer answer. I would not give people the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on and call the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on to the next thing I had to do. And watching that show, it made me, there were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, I'm so sorry and let's talk about it. And I wish you'd had a better time and I wish I could have shown you a better experience.
Yeah.
Okay, look, don't get me wrong, okay? What hit what he's saying as a director, like that doesn't sound cool and all. And I feel bad for anyone who has to like tolerate, getting shouted at by Dan and all that stuff. But at the same time, this is also kind of irrelevant to like what Dan actually did with like being a really creepy person towards kids on set. This is just irrelevant, and I feel like he's just trying to like change the topic in some way, just so he like avoids the question like what everyone wants to hear, about him like addressing these allegations and all that stuff. So, but yeah, and for the what was it? Like for you wanting to apologize to someone, like dude, go ahead. If you realize like what mistake you made, like go ahead, even if it was like from a long time ago, go just say it, just call him and be like, hey, I'm sorry I did this to you. Uh, I don't know, that's just my opinion, but let's just move on.
Now, are inappropriate for children.
Mhm.
What do you think of that?
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience
Yeah.
because kids thought they were funny and only funny. Okay? Now we have some adults looking back at them 20 years later through their lens, and they're looking at them and they're saying, oh, I don't think that's appropriate for a kid's show.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no problem with that. If that's how anyone feels, let's cut those jokes out of the show. Just like I would have done 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like it. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a.
Okay, so you didn't think that like with Ariana Grande making like like some pretty wild jokes with like her making a crotch joke, you didn't think back then that you should have like removed it, like if you knew that joke was inappropriate, you didn't think to like move it back then, like what are you trying to say here?
Power. Is that true?
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Okay.
There were many, many levels of scrutiny. Okay? We had executives in LA. We had executives in New York.
So two coasts.
Two coasts
Okay.
of
Both
approval.
coasts.
Yes. And by the way, approval at every stage, really.
Okay.
And I'm talking about wardrobe. I'm talking about makeup, sound, sets, dialogue, jokes, everything.
Now, when you say approval, these obviously that's a hierarchy, not your colleagues or
Right.
people in the room.
And the set teacher and the families, everybody's watching it. And if anybody had said anything, hey, we don't like that, that's not appropriate, then it would have been cut out.
Now, I'm gonna.
Okay, but at the same time, like even if like even if you had like a bunch of bosses, it was still your show, and you were still responsible for what dialogue and script that was going to be in the show. So you were still responsible for the pretty sus jokes that actually went on. Now that we're looking back at the jokes, and now people are just being like, "Yo, that joke seems a little bit wild." You were still responsible for that, regardless of your bosses and like who was watching it. You knew deep down that was a silly adult joke, and like I don't know. I mean, you're the guy responsible for like everything, so you should have known like what was appropriate and what was inappropriate for kids to watch. Just saying.
Highlight two former writers viewers, two women, who spoke about it. Talk to me about that part.
Well,
Be out salaries. Talk to me about that part.
well, you're correct. I have nothing to do with paying writers. I never have. I've never made a writer's deal. And of all the writers I've been in a writer's room with, I never even knew how much most of them were getting paid.
Yeah, but we saw these two women.
I find that funny that he has no control over like the pay, but like there's like a video out there where he literally threatened to like decrease to cut Jeanette McCurdy's pay, who played Sam in the shows like Carly and Sam the Cat. I find that pretty ironic. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna stop playing this video because This video definitely goes like off topic a lot, and I don't want this video just to be a 19-minute video of just me like watching this video and you just watching it because that's just gonna be boring. I want to like show you some. Let me see if you can see it. Oh yeah, okay, you can see it. Good. Just checking. Yeah. So it's gonna have to give me a minute here. All right. So what else I was saying? There's like this video that was popping off on Twitter where uh, during Miranda Cosgrove's 18th birthday party, who played Carly and iCarly, Dan Schneider decided to act a little bit weird.
Now look, honestly, in trying to figure out what I could say today about Miss Miranda for her birthday, I come to the conclusion that what you can say is, what can't you say? I mean, honest to God, I could go on and on about all the wonderful qualities about Miranda, but I know time permits, and I will consolidate it to just this one thing. In all the years I've known Miranda, I guess 9 years now, she hasn't changed. Miranda hasn't changed one bit. All those awesome qualities that she had when she was 9 years old, all the goodness, all those smiles. Now look, honestly,
bro, watching that, bro, it's not like she even wanted to be touched by Dan, bro. Knowing like how Dan.
in trying to figure out what I could say today about Miss Miranda for her birthday, I come to the conclusion that what you can say is,
Yeah. If you see that, bro, like she tried to like walk away a bit, like she didn't want to be near him, bro. Like as you came to her, like she tried to get back, but like she couldn't really do anything. Let's see what the comments are saying. No, this is a little bit irrelevant. Oh yeah, this is like what I was talking about, right? Um, they're threatening to decrease Jeanette Curdy's paycheck. Like, look at this.
And then stop the floor.
Stop laughing at the director. Show some respect, Jeanette. Respect. No smiling. If you, all right. Take $100 off her check.
And then stop.
Okay. I think I was a little bit wrong about Dan not controlling the pay because I don't think the guy who like said that was Dan. I think I misinterpreted like the voice who was talking to Jeanette as Dan. But oh yeah, there's like another video of like Jeanette saying that like Dan.
Now my face gets hot thinking of it, just because he'd say things like, you guys will work at Yogurtland if you didn't work for me, and he would just scream. How old were you? I was when I started the show I was 13. Now my
Yeah, so Dan did a bunch of pretty messed up stuff, honestly, and I also wanted to talk about like another situation that happened where Drake Bell, who played Drake in Drake and Josh, actually got sexually abused by like a producer. I forgot his name. I don't know how, but his name will be like in the text box below. So basically, he sexually abused Drake, and what made it much worse is that like when Drake tried to like talk about it and like call him out for it, there were actually people who were defending him. Yeah, defending him and like saying that like, oh, he was never like this when I hung out with him, and it's like, yeah, of course, they wouldn't be like that when they're around you because there's a bad side in people. They obviously wouldn't show it to you. Of course, they would obviously want you to trust, and it was kind of sad too because like there were like a bunch of people defending the producer, and Drake didn't have much defense, which was honestly kind of sad. I'll try my best to see if I can pull up the articles, but I don't know if I can find it, but I'll try and put it in the video if I ever find like the articles. But I don't know where it is, but yeah, ironically enough, Dan actually defended Drake. Yeah, the guy who touched Miranda, and actually got the producer 16 months in jail, which, in my opinion, should have been a little bit longer, given that it was a freaking minor, bro. Like, come on, bro. So, but yeah, honestly, overall, bro, I feel bad for these child actors, especially the ones on Nickelodeon, bro, because they did not deserve to tolerate this, bro. They went through a lot, honestly, and I bet most of their parents didn't even care about them. Like the only thing they cared about them about the child was just for the money they were bringing in, which honestly makes it sad. Sorry about that. My mom walked in. But as I was saying, I feel bad for the actors overall because they had to tolerate like a bunch of messed up stuff, and Hollywood is overall just a pretty trash industry, and I don't even know why it's alive to this day, honestly. Me personally, I think Bollywood's a better industry. Not because I'm Indian, but I'm just putting it out there because you don't see them having abused kids. I'm just saying. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video. I'm sorry this was a long one, but I tried to make it short, but you know how it is. Leave a comment and discuss and talk about what you think about this situation because I think it's pretty messed up, and I think whoever got abused deserves justice, and I hope they can, you know, uh, I hope they're like not afraid anymore to like just talk about like their experience like Nickelodeon or like whatever studio they were acting in, you know, because I think we need more people to like talk about this because I think it's important. Like the more people that have like courage to like talk about this, the better, you know, because we need to know about this, and I'm glad this is being brought up because like a lot of people would think that like their kids are like living the life in the studio, but really it's quite the opposite. But with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.